But photographers, I'm telling you, it definitely works. Okay, so while I wait for my model to arrive for my shoot, I thought I'd have a little chat with you guys in regards of finding models, or yeah, I guess just finding models, get models to reply to you, etc. Because it's a question I get a lot, or I'll shoot certain models and people are like, how did you get to shoot with them, and etc, etc. There's no magical way. I'll tell you from now, there's no magical way of getting models to shoot with you. If a model doesn't reply, I guess just move on to the next one. That's in very simple terms. I'll literally explain to you guys how I get my models to shoot, or if I'm trying to find new models, etc. I think the first thing to really recognize is your page something they would want to shoot with, as in, is the content that you post along the lines of with what they post. For instance, like I've had models tell me they'll have photographers message them wanting to shoot, and on their page is landscape photography, and they're an OnlyFans creator, and it's just like, that's when you can the model might feel a bit weirded out, because why is someone that shoots birds messaging an OnlyFans creator? Do you know what I mean? So it can, you may want to delve, you may have been shooting landscape, you might want to delve into shooting to models, but you need to realize what it looks like from the other side. So there obviously if you do come from that, there is like obviously a starting point. You may have to pay some models, you might have to go on a photography course or a photography trip, like myself with the collective travel of what we do. It's a good entryway into getting that portfolio fast track, instead of paying, I don't know, guess five to 10 models, or going for a year trying to build up that portfolio. You can do that in a photography trip where there are already 8 to 10 plus girls that you can get content with, and obviously they know what you're there for. So there is those things you need to take into account as well. Another thing is sometimes the models just don't see the DMs. Most of the time, once you've recognized and you're sort of aware of, okay, you've identified now that the models that you DM, your page needs to sort of replicate that's what they like. So once you've got that down to a T, sometimes they just don't see it. Believe me, I've unsent and resent a message, and now that model's replied, and we've shot how many times? It could be a thing they haven't seen it. I will say is 90% of models definitely see their DMs. Don't let them fool. Don't be even discouraged from sending a model with 1 million followers a message and thinking, oh, they won't reply and this, that, and the third. I'm telling you, they do. I've messaged models with millions, hundreds of thousands, models I know that you've seen on your explore page, or you've come across big models, and they've replied within minutes. Without me even sending previous messages, like my first initial message, they've replied within minutes. So yeah, let's not be around the bush. They definitely do. So it is kind of a catch-22. It's just like, do I unsend and resend them once or twice, or are they just not interested? And I think it needs to get to a point where you kind of know, okay, they've definitely either seen it, or okay, I've tried, and let's just move on to the next one. And that's another thing as well. Don't get butthurt if a model either just doesn't want to work, or doesn't reply, or says they don't want to work with you. There's literally millions of people on this planet Earth. You don't need to get butthurt about one individual. Just move on to the next one. Now, this is a bit of a sneaky tip, but believe me, I have shot people's friends that I've actually wanted to work with. Meaning, I've wanted to work with this person, but to get to that person, you may have had to shoot their friend or someone in their friendship group and whatnot, until they've seen your work and they're like, oh, you should work with my friend. And I was like, that was the goal, but you don't let them know that's the goal. If there's any models watching this, by the way, just click off. You know, just unsee what I've just sent in your head, delete it from memory. Do you know what I mean? Men in Black thing, flash. You can click off now, it's fine. But photographers, I'm telling you, it definitely works. And even I had it not too long ago. I actually really wanted to shoot with this model. And she goes, oh, you should shoot with my cousin and blah, blah, blah. I was like, who's your cousin? And it's crazy. The cousin was someone I've been wanting to work with for years. And I'm just like, you see how small the world is? Do you know what I mean, guys? Just put the energy out. Can you put the energy out? The beautiful ladies will come, or guys, whatever you want to shoot. Not discriminating over here. But I'm telling you that is another tactic. That's probably a last resort tactic though. I mean, I feel like another point is obviously make sure your quality of work is up there. Because I mean, I've had obviously my main page, IAmJadoreTV, is a lot of lingerie, there's art nude on there, and I've had fashion models want to work with me just because, not because of the content, but they can see the quality of the work. Meaning if I can shoot this at that quality, fashion is going to be a walk in the park. So making your quality of work up there. Get a critique, get harsh critiques. I feel like what made me, I say, a bit stagnant in quality early on, but everyone was telling me I was great, especially when you're new. People just like to tell photographers that they're great, and it's just like, no, that doesn't, being in comfort doesn't cause growth. So being people telling you that you're great and this, that, and the third when you're a year into photography, no. If it's great, cool, tell them that they're great, but I feel like people need to stop with this very cushy sort of era that we're in, that we can't tell the truth. You need harsh critics. Find that person you know is going to tell you if something's rubbish or not. Because when I thought I was doing well, I started to go to photography meets when I was coming up. By this, obviously, there's a few years I was just shooting by myself. I thought everyone was telling me I was great until I went to this photography meets and I saw everyone else's work. I was like, oh, I am nowhere near. And I was actually angry. I was like, why was everyone telling me I was this amazing photographer when these people's work is miles better? And once I started seeing that, that's what I was like, okay, it was a healthy competition to help me get sort of proceed and sort of sharpen my tools and get better. But I'll definitely get harsh critiques on your work until the point where you know that when this person or these group of people say that you got good work, you know that it's actually good work. But other than that, guys, if you have any questions, that's what I can think of right now before my model arrives. He'll probably arrive in a couple of minutes. But if you have any questions, any industry questions, any advice, anything on my page, drop it down below. I'm gonna make another video on the questions that you ask. So your questions and your name will be featured in the next video. So definitely leave a comment in the comment section, like, comment, subscribe, and all the good stuff. I'm gonna catch you in the next video.